Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Wow, I look tired. Oh, I look so tired. Let me share this on Twitter. Yeah, hi, Andrea. I'm just sharing this really quickly, so if it like freezes, that's why. Don't come for me. I'm still drinking my coffee or my refresher from earlier. I believe I did get your email. I don't know. I haven't checked my emails. So I got back from the hand doctor, and then I had a really bad migraine, and I took a migraine pill, and I knocked out. So I'm really sorry, you guys, because I know I was going to go live earlier. I feel like this lighting is like off for some reason, but I know I was going to go live earlier, but I knocked out and I woke up at like 10:45. So I'm super sorry that I am so behind today. I had the worst migraine. I think it was just from stress and just everything. And I was live so long last night. Y'all are troopers. If you were here for my whole live last night, it was 6.5 hours. Oh, let's see who's in here. Alyssa, Nikki, Andrian. Why am I saying your name wrong? I've been saying Andrea. It's Andrea, right? Am I saying your name wrong? I feel like I am. Hi, Haley, Cassidy. It was what? Yes, I did get your email. I sent you an email back, Nikki. Did you get it? Because the book you were looking at was different than the journal I was talking about. So I sent you a link to the exact journal that I was talking about last night, the Modern Witch Journal. And it's not an affiliated link or anything. It's just, I just went and took the exact link. So, okay, so yeah, I want to talk really quickly. Oh, I'm glad it worked out better for you, Alyssa. How was your day, Alyssa? Did you get everything done that you need to get done? So really quickly before, I want to talk about this Josh Duggar stuff, but I want to also update you guys how my doctor's appointment went, because I know so many of you have been like, okay, what happened with your appointment? I want to know what. So Josh Duggar was caught with CP, and he was arrested. At first, people were saying, hi, Jenna. At first, people were saying that we don't know what he was arrested for. Now it's been confirmed. I want to read some articles with you guys, that kind of stuff. But like I said, I just really quickly want to get it out of the way how my doctor's appointment went. And then I promise we will get into the Josh Duggar stuff. So I went to the hand doctor today, as you guys know. So he did a bunch of tests, and he said that he's like 99% sure that it is severe untreated carpal tunnel, which we know I have arthritis in my hand. So we figured it was carpal tunnel. They are going to do a nerve test, which will do all my, yeah, it's crazy, Nurse Rachel. They're going to do a nerve test for my whole arm and my hand and all that jazz. And he said that he's pretty sure I'm going to need surgery. So sucks. But they were booking out there till July to do the nerve test, but they can get it done sooner if I go to this other place, which is like really far from where I live. It's like 3 hours. I've already worn the brace. That's the thing. I've worn the brace for like 6 months. We've tried everything. That's why I ended up going to a specialist, and I'm losing my strength in my hands, which is really bad. Yes, it can be fixed. I mean, RA, arthritis, those are things that there's nothing I can do about those, right? So it's going to get progressively worse as far as those things are concerned. But hopefully we can fix some of the pain and some of the issue with the surgery for carpal tunnel nerve damage. So yeah, he's like that. I'm pretty sure that this is severe untreated carpal tunnel, severe nerve damage. So Yeah, I hope the surgery will help because it's getting a lot worse and I'm only 31. So, what I do for a living, I need my hands. And it's so crazy because a few years ago, my left hand, I crushed in an automatic pizza dough roller, which is like a whole story in itself. So they have that on file. So every time I go to see any doctor for my right hand, they are like, "Oh, I heard you got into a fight with a pizza dough roller." And I'm like, "Nope, that's the other hand, which doesn't really bother me. It's this hand." I mean, you guys can see, like, my hands are bad, 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 bad. I know someone who had that surgery and it helped them a lot. Oh my God, how painful. Yeah, it does get really painful. And there's nothing I can take for it. I couldn't breathe. I was watching and save Ashley's live when I went to Nikki in a nutshell to watch. Her live got banned though. What is with TikTok banning everybody's lives? I don't know what Ashley did. I'm so lost. I went on TikTok long enough to check my yep, those things, Tara. To check I still have the headache, but it's not too bad. Thank you, Cassidy. I'm trying. I feel like it's always something and I hate it. I mean, I am blessed that my health has gotten a lot better, but yeah. I saw that and then I saw Tara was on and switched over. Oh, well, thanks, guys. I don't want anyone to feel like if you guys don't want to be here and talk about this Josh Duggar stuff and you're more interested in finding out what's going on with Ashley and all that jazz, that's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I just want to talk about this Josh Duggar thing because it's absolutely mind-blowing to me that he ended up getting granted bail after all of this coming out. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with who Josh Duggar is, and what's been going on. No, this time she doxed her phone number. Oh, she doxed her phone number, really? Why does she do this to herself? I feel like I went on this rant last night about that stuff. Like, I feel like she knows what she's doing. But okay, so Josh Duggar, he is very known for being on the show 19 Kids and Counting, which is a show about Mormon family. They are they call it the Fundies. So the fundamentalists, right? So a lot of people know them from that show. I forget what network it was on, to be honest with you. I honestly never watched the show, but I do know about the family. So it's the Duggar family, right? And he was one of the kids of the main couple. Like, they had all these kids, 19 kids and counting. So he is one of their sons. And there's Jim Bob and Michelle, which are the mother and father. And then they had all these kids. And now all these kids grew up on reality TV. And now all of them have kids, have been married, this, that, and the third. So it came out years ago that Josh had actually SA'd some of his sisters. How disgusting, right? And some other kids, some other girls. And he ended up doing an apology, ended up being accountable. Because, like with these fundamentalists, like I was a baptized Mormon at one point. I've tried every religion possible when I was trying to like find my place in life, especially when I was in active drug addiction. So I know how the Mormons are, and I'm not here to bash anyone's religion or what they believe in, but it's kind of like once you, and a lot of religions are like this. Once you talk about it, take accountability, ask for your sins to be, released or whatever, you're forgiven, right? God forgives you. The church forgives you. So anyways, it came out that happened. He did like this thing where he apologized for it and what have you. And there's kind of always been like a lot of fishiness going on with Josh. Like there was something that happened where home security ended up coming to, he had like a car business, like a car lot thingy. And my mother-in-law is like, you should walk the kids to school in the morning. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so he ended up having this Homeland Security came and they went and they like raided his business that he had, and they shut it down. Now it's like not a thing anymore. And then recently on April 29th, he was arrested again. And a lot of people were coming forward saying that now he's married with children. He's got a wife, Anna. He's got a few kids. I honestly don't know that much about their life. I just have kept up with all of the stuff that has happened. I might even do a deep dive on the Duggars. I don't know, because it's kind of fascinating, to be honest with you. But he has a wife whose name is Anna, and then they have kids as well. So in the Mormon religion, they're kind of like there's different subsections, kind of like Christianity, where like you have the main core religion itself, and then you have like branches of that religion where, kind of like how there's different Christian churches, but they all practice different things. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So it's kind of the same thing with Mormonism. So in the Mormon religion, the woman is basically taught to, like, her goal in life is to get married and bear children for her husband. And men they have to do a mission, and then they go to college, and they're kind of like the woman is basically, again, I'm not trying to generalize Mormonism, but this was my experience being a part of the Mormon church and what I was taught. And they're very against LGBTQ plus. They're very against trans kind of thing and everything like that. And yes, like Nikki said, they believe everything Jim Bob said. Exactly, I agree. Like, it was on okay, so TLC is what it was on. I thought it was either TLC or We, but I couldn't remember. I don't watch TV, so I'm like kind of, you know. So anyways, yeah, so the Mormon church is very it's different. Let's just put it that way. Again, I'm not trying to judge anybody if you're Mormon. I get it. I understand, especially if you were born into that whole thing. I get it. But this is like an extreme version of Mormonism, in my opinion, as well. So it came out April 29th that he was arrested. Now, a lot of people had suspicion that he was getting arrested for CP, especially since Homeland Security was involved and that kind of a thing, chicken wing. Well, and then you had some people saying, oh, well, we can't assume that it is CP and all that jazz. A lot of people were saying that his car lot thing that he owned, his car business, was a cover-up for other things like human trafficking or all that kind of stuff, because, that's kind of the stuff that he has been involved in this whole entire time. So he got arrested on the 29th, and it has come out that he was indeed arrested for, I don't know, I'm about to read the articles, because I was watching, she used to go by Leslie Bass, but she now goes by Ellie B, I believe. And she was doing a live, and she was actually a part of the court hearing today. And I was like, oh my God, I want to go live and talk about this, because I didn't want to make a full video about it because I'm not super knowledgeable on it yet, but I kind of just wanted to talk about it. So if you guys don't know who she is and you guys are interested in this kind of thing, and you're watching the replay of this live and you want more information on this, I will link Leslie Bass, LEB's channels down below. But she always covers like the Duggars, Teen Mom, like reality TV she covers, and I love her. She's like the kindest soul ever. She's a mom of six. She's out here hustling, doing her thing. I can't believe they gave him bail either. That is like the thing that it blows my mind, right? So this article came out like an hour ago, and it says Josh Duggar's computer had software that would report internet p-word usage to his wife Anna, officials say. So it says the Christian-based program called Coveyan Eyes is designed to protect users from objectionable content and to help monitor the screen activity of those with P addiction. In their federal investigation into Josh Duggar, investigators uncovered a program installed on the former 19 Kids and Counting star's computer that monitored his internet usage and would report its findings to his wife, Anna. So his wife knew, like his wife was knowledgeable to the fact. Now, could you imagine your husband, and this is something that I firmly believe is that, like, once people have this in their brain, like where they're attracted to minors and they are artists and, all that jazz, there's no fixing that, in my opinion. You can't fix that. Like, you can't untrain that in the brain. There's like something wrong with the wiring in your brain. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? But could you imagine Anna, someone who's been brought on, that has been brought up Mormon, right? So she is taught to serve her husband. She's got children with this man, right? She knows that he's sick in the head because she has a whole ass program, and they got daughters, y'all. Like, they have daughters. So could you imagine? I couldn't even imagine. And there was another article I was reading right before I came on this live where it was saying that um she couldn't, or she wasn't gonna allow him to come home, but we'll get into that because I haven't figured out who bailed him out yet. I'm hoping it's in one of these articles. If not, then I'm gonna go watch LEB's live after this, but I'm sure it's in one of these articles because they've all just dropped in the last hour. My ass was sleeping. I wanted to catch her live because I knew she was going to be in the Zoom trial, or like the Zoom court hearing call, but I ended up like catching the very end of it. The cure of permanent sleep, in my opinion. So it says that the program called Conveyant Eyes was registered under Josh and Anna's name. Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent Gerard said in a virtual detention hearing on Wednesday. According to Conveyant Eyes website, the program is an accountability software that is meant to protect users from objectionable content and help monitor the screen activity of those with P addiction. So I feel like Conveyant Eyes, I think it's actually a Christian-based like program. I think the idea is good. Like, if somebody does struggle with P addiction and they're trying to get help for it, you know, that this can monitor. But when you get into CP, that's a whole other ball game because CP is like yeah, exactly. There's so many softwares, Jenna. Like, I was looking into this a while ago for something else I was researching that I had to. Oh, it's okay, Stephanie. Don't worry about being late. It's not a big deal. I'm kind of glad this is a small live, to be honest. But I was doing research for something else that I was working on a while ago that I stopped working on because it was kind of triggering. But there's so many programs for stuff like this, and it's kind of sick and disgusting. But as far as like having a program that monitors like P addiction, I can kind of understand that. But when you get into CP, that's like a whole other ball game. Hi, Steph. How are you, darling? So it says the software periodically captures screenshots, which are then analyzed by artificial intelligence and sent to a trusted ally who can hold the users accountable for their internet usage, the website says. I mean, look at this. Look at them, y'all. Look at them. Like, this poor, I feel so bad for this woman, but at the same time, I'm like I feel bad for her because I know how the religion can train these women. I'm all right. I'm doing okay. I'm getting over a migraine. If you can't tell, my eyes are heavy. Oh, thank you. It's a Sublime shirt. Another one because I love Sublime. It's actually a t-shirt dress, so it's super long, but I feel bad for this woman because like, I know how the religion can train these women and brainwash these women, especially them they've been raised in it. And like with Jim Bob and like that whole like clan, it's pretty, when you start getting into Jim Bob and they're like the ministry and all that, it's like really dark, y'all. Like really, really dark. And none of I got it from Urban Outfitters, Alyssa. Find a sale though, because Urban Outfitters is expensive. Jim Bob is the father of the Duggars, Jim Bob Duggar. And they had that really popular show, 19 Kids and Counting. We are discussing Josh Duggar and his arrest of getting, yes, the dad. Arrest of him getting arrested for CP and the allegations against him and him actually getting granted bail, which I am absolutely mind blown. Like, why is it that superstars can get, like, if that was anybody else, y'all, like, they would be like gone, right? Gone. But because these people are freaking reality stars, they get away with what they're getting away with. It's absolutely disgusting. And I want to say everyone is innocent until proven guilty. These are just my opinions. And this is all alleged. But it's still like I can't believe that somebody that's being accused of this is getting bail. I can't believe that. Yeah, Urban Outfitters is really expensive. That's why I say find a sale. They do have a really good rewards program though as well. And the reason why I like Urban Outfitters is because their clothing quality is really good. But I know that it's not in everybody's price range. Yeah, celebrities do get away with everything. A plain Joe down the street wouldn't see the light of day, let alone bail. Exactly, Alyssa. That's what I'm saying. It's absolutely ridiculous. Maybe they gave him bail because of COVID. I don't know. I could see them using that as an excuse, but if that's the case, I can almost guarantee that this man has gotten his vaccines. I'm just saying. I can almost guarantee this man is fully vaccinated. So it says during Wednesday's virtual detention hearing, they said that the conveyant eyes was unable to detect Duggar's internet usage after a password protected network was installed on his computer, which means Josh Duggar installed allegedly a password on his computer so that the program that was installed to watch his pee addiction could not monitor that, which is even shadier in my opinion. So it says that conveyance eyes were, I mean, it doesn't really matter what they say. The leader of conveyant eyes, or the person who started it, is saying why he started the program. So it says that Josh Duggar was charged with receiving and possessing CP, and he does plead not guilty. So, and he was arrested on April 29th for that. A judge at the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Arkansas ruled on Wednesday that Josh will be released from the detention center where he's been held for the last week to a designated third-party custodian. So he's not even going home. And they're making him go on GPS tracking. Oh yeah, it is confined. So he has an ankle monitor and he's on house arrest. So he got bail with house arrest for this. He does have disgusting energy. I agree, High Priestess. Like, even looking at photos of him, like, in his eyes, it's like, ugh. Yeah, so Mormons, I don't see why they wouldn't get vaccines. When I was in the Mormon religion, we were allowed to get vaccines. You can't drink coffee or tea, and there's a ton of other weird shit you can't do, but, like, you could get vaccines. I do know with Jehovah Witnesses, yeah, you can't. I doubt they would let him out of house with children. But yeah, he makes my skin crawl too. Like, why even go through all that when he could just be sitting in jail? I agree. So it says in May 2015, he apologized for his wrongdoing following the release of a 2006 police report that revealed he had been under investigation as a teen for inappropriately touching 5 underage girls. His sister Jill, who's now 29, and Jessa, now 28, and they stepped forward, the sisters, and identified themselves as 2 of the victims. Now, a lot of people did give Josh some leeway with the allegations that came out previously because he was a teenager. So a lot of people, like I always say, usually when kids are doing this to other kids, it's because they themselves have gone through their own thing. So I feel like a lot of people kind of forgave Josh for those things, because I don't even know if forgive is the right word, but they kind of were a little bit more lenient with him because he was a teen. And they are really pretty girls, Jessa and Jenna. So I feel like they did give him kind of a, like, not pass, but you know what I mean? Like, they weren't as hard on him because it was like, oh, he was a teen when it happened. But ever since then, like, a lot of weird stuff has happened, like, throughout the years with him that has made, in my opinion, people realize, like, no, he is a weirdo. It's not just like something happened to him and he was acting it out. Nope, not just caffeine. You can drink soda, but not tea or coffee. I never understood that. I'm a coffee drinker, and I had to stop drinking coffee and tea. And I lived in the South when I was baptized Mormon, so, like, sweet tea is the thing, chicken wing. And yeah, I had to stop drinking tea, coffee. So I lived with these people that are gay. Like, I lived in a house with 6 roommates and they were all gay, and they literally, the Mormons made me live in the woods in a tent for 2 weeks because I wasn't allowed to live with people of the opposite sex because we weren't married and because they were gay. It was ridiculous. And I wasn't allowed to get baptized. I had to quit smoking. I couldn't drink. It was a lot. You should see my pictures of my baptism too. Oh my gosh, they dress you in all white and then they dunk your head. It's crazy. I agree. He is getting special privileges. Jim Bob has always given off weird vibes too. I agree, Nikki. He won't be allowed around any children. I promise they won't let him. Yeah, I think that part of the stipulations would be that he wouldn't be allowed around children, but I also think that with his privilege, that it wouldn't surprise me. And with the church, I don't know who this third party person is, but with the church, you never know. Yes, I joined later in life. I was, I think, 21. And let me tell you, I was only a part of the church for like 2 years. And like, I could do a whole story time on my experience in the Mormon church and like my ward and everything. Oh my gosh. Yep, we are strong empaths. We have knowing 100%. Yeah, right? I know, High Priestess. It's not just caffeine, Cassidy. You can have soda. They consider it mind altering, coffee and tea, but you can have soda. Like, they would be telling me, like, oh, you can't drink coffee or tea because it's mind altering, but then they'd be drinking a freaking Mountain Dew, and I'm like, okay, Smokey. I will say I did go to some of the best potlucks ever when I was a part of the Mormon church, but their church it's so long. Like, you go for hours, and not only on Sundays. Like, they have different I can't remember all the names now, but they have different, like, they're like Bible studies, but they segregate the women and the men and the children. And then, like, depending on your age group, they segregate you even more. And then they have like special dances and stuff for like to get these teenage people to talk to one another because they heavily promote marriage as soon as possible. And then the boys go and do a 2-year mission to where they, well, now it's a little different because social media, they're trying to use social media now, but they believe in prophecies. So like they go off of whatever the prophecy is, and then every year they have like this big meeting where like the prophets, like they call them modern day prophets, will hold this big meeting, and then like everybody sits down and they listen to the prophets, the modern day prophets, and what their teachings are and what direction the church will go. But yeah, these kids for 2 years, these men after high school, they have to do their mission, and they're called missionaries. And a lot of people confuse them with Jehovah's Witnesses because they knock on your door and they try to convert you, which is how I was converted. It was from a missionary. And when you're a missionary, you're supposed to have so many baptisms in your 2 years. So they try to push out baptisms like it's butter, like they're like, you want to be baptized, you want to be baptized, kind of a thing. And anyway, so yeah, like I said, I could do a whole freaking story time on the Mormon church and what it's like trying, like, an outsider's perspective, because I was an outsider going into the church. So I was able to see red flags like as I got in, and I was in full-blown addiction when I started to try to be a part of the church because I was trying to find my purpose. And so I was trying to find a way to find my calling and somewhere to belong, and like, if that makes sense. So yeah, I was able to see it, but with being a part of the church, I got to know a lot of people around my age that grew up in the church. Like, I met people that were LGBTQ plus that were scared to come out because they were shunned. They were, what is it called? It's when you're a part of the church and then they it starts with a D, I think. I'm pretty sure. What is it? Hold on. I'm gonna have to look up the name of it, but they basically shun you from the church. What is it called when you're shunned from Mormon church? So like these kids would grow up excommunicated. That's what it's called. I think that's what it's called, right? I thought it was a D, but it's called, I'm pretty sure it's called excommunicated. But these kids grow up in the church and then they're scared to come forward and say they're LGBTQ plus or that they feel this way or that way. Yeah, it's excommunicated. Because if they do, or if they have sex before marriage, or God forbid they have a child before marriage or anything like that, right? So they're scared to come forward and like say anything about it because then they are completely disassociated. It's kind of like how Scientology, how like they when you're like cut off, you know, they don't want people talking to you. Like it's crazy, y'all, like how the churches, the Mormon churches. Now again, I'm just saying from my perspective, I'm not talking about every Mormon church or everyone that's Mormon. I'm just talking about my ward, my experience with people. So hi Brooke, how are you, honey? Yeah, he gives me sick energy too. I worked with a girl that was raised Baptist, became an atheist, and then converted to Muslim. When she met her husband, I was invited to their wedding, but didn't go because she wanted me to cover my face. Yeah, I feel like that's hard. Religion is really hard, and I'm not one to judge anybody that, you know, believes in a religion or follows different practices or whatever, because I also feel like spirituality in a way is like people are trying to how do I put it? Like they're trying to make it something it was never supposed to be, and they're kind of trying to conform it now and like put all these rules on it, kind of like how religion is. So I would never be one to bash somebody for what they believe in, but I'm just saying from my experience personally, like I've tried a lot of different religions to try to find my place. I tried Jehovah's Witness. I've tried Mormonism, regular Christianity, Catholic. I've tried a lot of stuff, right? And out of all the things I've tried, Jehovah's Witness was pretty out there, but the Mormon stuff was like really freaking out there. Like they believe in a whole other Bible. Like they believe in the Bible, but they believe in a whole other Bible. And like they would say God is how they got me is that I always believed that God and Jesus were two different people, and Mormons believe that. Now other religions don't believe that. They believe they are one, right? So that's how they got me, because I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And I was like really disconnected from like my spiritual side at that time, because I'm like, again, trying to find purpose, and I wasn't really understanding a lot of the stuff that I was brought up and taught. I was just kind of like, oh, I need God in my life, because every AA meeting I went to and NA meeting I went to told me that I needed a higher power and I needed Jesus and I needed God. So I was trying to find that in my life. That's how I got sucked in, right? So I don't know where I was going with that. But the Mormon church was my wildest experience. It was crazy. That would be interesting. I'd tune in for that for sure. Mormonism has always intrigued me in a way. Yeah, and like like I said, high priestess, I can only speak from my experience as somebody who joined the church later on, and what I saw from kids and people that were my age going. And now I will say, when I was a part of the Mormon church, I was homeless. I ended up homeless because I was roommates with those people, and then they sold the owners of that house sold the house. So then I ended up homeless. And when I became homeless, the Mormon church did help me, and they do help families. They do help people that are a part of the church, like a lot. Actually, a lot of people join the church just because of their programs for helping people. So, they did help me a lot. They helped me with a place to live, and they believe you're judged by your work. So, like, I was able to live with this elderly lady and take care of her, and which ended up being an SHIT show because her daughter was an addict and I was trying to get in recovery, and then I ended up relapsing. So that's a whole other thing. But, yeah, it was just the good did not outweigh the bad. And like when you spoke to your, it's not called a pastor. Why can I not remember his name? Was it pastor? Oh my gosh. See, like, I haven't thought about this in so long. What is the head of the Mormon ward called? And all of these people don't get paid. They, bishop, that's what it's called. So when you would speak to your bishop, which you have to tell your bishop everything about you, there's no one in there. It's just you and your bishop, which like is really weird. And you're supposed to confess like everything, like any trauma, any of that stuff. Not to mention, if you're working, you are supposed to give the church your tithes. So like tithing is tithing, I think is how you say it. So like when I did start working, I would have to give them a percentage of my paycheck because that was not because they didn't believe in passing around a bowl like how most churches do. They pass around like a collection plate. They didn't do that. And I at first thought that was great until I found out, oh no, they just take it out of your paycheck. They expect you to write them a check every time you get paid. I mean, and those churches, those wards, they're called wards, not churches. They make so much money, y'all. And everyone donates their time. I mean, I don't know how much time I spent at church. Like, it was insane. And then I have a hard time speaking in front of people. And I used to have to get up and speak because they would assign you duties. And you would have to get up in front of everybody and speak and, like, say your story. It was a lot. Imagine being in church for 7 freaking hours on a Sunday. Not counting all of the other stuff you have to do during the week with them. I had a friend who was Mormon when she was a kid, and they made her sing this creepy song about how women should obey their husbands and stuff. She was a little kid then. Yeah, because they plant it in their heads early. I'm telling you, like, it's crazy. And they encourage you to have so many children. So many children. That's a huge plus. Common ground people that prove the flaws in these religions. Yeah. My mom has a friend that was Amish. She left when she was 16. When she visits, she can't eat at the same table as her family. Yeah, that's so sad. Are you maybe thinking of when folks are denounced? Yeah, it's like denounced, but it's called in Mormonism, Mormon church, it's called excommunication. It is very culty vibes. And then, like I said earlier, there's different branches of there's I think it's the FLDS. Like, there's different branches of the Mormon church that get super extreme, y'all. Like, super, super extreme. Like there's so many documentaries of these kids like trying to get away and like these families. It's absolutely mind-blowing, but they protect one another is what I'm trying to get at. And with the Josh Duggar situation, that's what it is. It's a protection, right? Maybe I will talk about my Mormonism experience in like a well thought out video, not just me going off on a rant. So it says Josh ultimately confessed to having a pee addiction and cheating on his wife in a apologetic statement because he was also caught on the Ashley Madison website, which is a website that is created to help you cheat on your partner. So like he's got a lot of skeletons in his closet. And you'll find that also with a lot of people that are Mormon. They have a lot of skeletons in their closet. And they feel like once they confess, like it's kind of like confession in the Catholic Church, right? Even though I feel like the Catholic Church really wants you to feel guilt if you but so it's kind of like that idea, right? So he wrote in his apologetic statement that I have been the biggest hypocrite ever while espousing faith. Espousing faith and family values. I have secretly over the last several years been viewing pornographic. I don't know if I can say that word. P word on the internet. And these became a secret addiction. I don't think it's much of a secret, bud. And I have become unfaithful to my wife. I am so ashamed of the double life that I've been living and grieved from the hurt, pain, and disgrace my sin has caused my wife and my family, and most of all, Jesus, and all of those who profess faith in him, the statement read. If convicted of the current charges against him, Josh could face up to 40 years in prison. And then it gives you like a crisis thing if you're, need help if, you know, that kind of a thing, chicken wing. But then the other article came out about the bail. That came out 3 hours ago. Oh, another article just came out too. Oh, that's about the bypassing the, yeah, so he was smart enough to figure out how to bypass the system that his wife had on there so he could still view CP. So like he didn't care. He knew his wife had this program on there, right? And he still was like, F you, I don't care. My addiction is so bad of wanting to watch CP and look at CP that I am going to bypass that system. And obviously I don't care about you. I mean, like I said, I feel like once people are this way mentally, there's no fixing it, right? So like, I mean, look at this mugshot, y'all. I used it on my thumbnail, but look at his eyes. He looks not bothered, for one. He looks like, oh, I don't even care. I don't even care that I am literally being arrested for CP. Or, you know what? Even, you guys, I'm not gonna lie, maybe this is like him being like a sign of relief. Like, oh my God, like maybe like, because you know, with addiction, like even with P addiction, and I don't know what it's like to have CP addiction. Never want to know what that feels like. But maybe he could be like, oh my God, I'm finally caught. Like, I can, at least in jail, I don't have to view that anymore. But at the same time, it's like just looking at that smirk. And then look at his eyes, y'all. Like, his eyes just seem so cold to me. Like, I want to believe the good in people. Like, he's just, like, with that smirk, like, relieved that he's like, oh, man, I've been caught. I don't have to deal with this anymore. But at the same time, it's just, like, between his eyes and the smirk, I don't know. What do y'all think about his smirk? It just, like, creeps me out. That's why I had to use it in my thumbnail. Because I'm like, how is he? That's his mugshot, y'all. Like, I don't know. Oh, I'm not on live chat. Thank you. I don't know what I would do without you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Nikki. Are all these Mormon shows actually Menonies? Wouldn't they just have to be on TV? Just curious. I don't know what Menonies is. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, low energy sucks, man. I fake it to make it. I'm not gonna lie. Everyone thinks I have such high energy, and I'm like, sure. That's why I live off coffee. That's what gives me energy. And even then, it's only temporary. Yes, and they have prior Amish people helping these kiddos leave, and they have to have security. It's that nuts. Yeah, it's crazy how, like, it is for different religions like that. You guys are so, I love you guys, because I definitely did not. And you know what's funny? Before I went live, I was like, okay, Tarrah, you're going to put it, as soon as you go live, you're going to put it on live chat, and I didn't do it. I could barely do 1 hour of Christian church as a kid. Couldn't imagine a whole damn day. Yeah, Alyssa, it's intense. And I mean, I grew up going to the Salvation Army church, because they would like come to the projects and take all the kids and stuff. And I had really great experiences there, but I also had really horrible experiences there. So like a part of me always just wanted to be connected. And like I said, when I started trying to get help, because I tried to get help throughout the whole time I was in active addiction, every freaking meeting I went to was like, oh, you need to find God. You need to go to church. You need to have a higher power. So that's what I was trying to do. And I dedicated so much of my time. And like when I was trying to get clean that time in my life, and I was hearing this at AA and NA, guess who knocks on the door? Missionaries. And then one of my roommates was excommunicated, but he grew up Mormon. So like he was telling me all these great things about Mormonism. So it was kind of like, it felt like, because I'm someone who doesn't believe in coincidences. So I was like, oh, this is like my purpose. This is happening for a reason. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So like, it really, yeah. Okay, you guys, I'm glad you guys agree with me that this smirk is like, It's just gross, right? It's creepy. Absolutely creepy. He downloaded Daisy's Destruction. I don't know what that is. Pink Banana Juicify. I don't think I want to know what that is. That seems like proof that nothing would change him. He doesn't care about the consequences. It's worth it to him. Yeah, Alyssa, I agree. He is a clown. He looks like he doesn't give a fuck. I agree. Yeah, I haven't heard that Pink Bandana. He looks creepy. He does. No remorse at all. It's sick. I agree. Read it on Reddit before they took down the redacted info. Huh. Duggar Snark has a lot of info. Maybe we can look up Duggar Snark then. This is why I wanted to do this, because I didn't have enough time to really look into. I knew he got arrested because, like I said, I read the. I don't watch the news, but I like to read news. Duggars. Oh, I'm out in the search bar. But I like to read stuff on it. And he even receives CP. He has to submit his own videos, etc., to be able to get videos sent to him. Exactly. That's what I mean. It's disgusting. I don't know how he was granted bail. It's disgusting. I meant, aren't the Amish shows actually? Oh, okay. I think so, Alyssa. I don't know. It's hard with reality TV too, because like a lot of what we see is staged or like rehearsed, which I guess is kind of the same thing. Like even when I was on TV for my friend's murder, I mean, it wasn't staged or rehearsed, but like you can definitely see where production, what like things production does, if that makes sense. Like the way they ask you certain things this way or that way. I can't talk too much about it because I signed an NDA, but yeah, I figured I didn't want to know. No, I'm not going to look up what that is. I wanted to look up the thing on Reddit. The scraping of the surface of the dark, deep web is something so heart-wrenching. Yeah, I don't ever want to go on the dark web, to be honest with you. So I'm going to read this article about the bail, and then I want to look on Reddit with you guys. So it says, Josh Duggar will be released from jail as he awaits trial in his felony child P case. The scandal-plagued former 19 kids and 19 kids and counting star 33 faced Judge Christie, blah, 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 blah. The father of 6, he has 6 children, y'all, appearing from the Washington County Detention Center and wearing his, I don't care what he was wearing, was arrested on April 29th on charges of receiving and possessing material depicting the sexual abuse of children. Oh my God. I want to throw up. And faces up to, this says he faces up to 20 years in prison. Oh, for each, because I was like, the other one said he was going to face way more. He pled not guilty. While the judge granted Duggar's release effective Thursday, she said, I'm just going to remind you how serious these charges are. She noted the evidence against him that was presented was significant. She said the nature of the crime concerns the court. If it concerns the court and the charges and the evidence against him is significant, why would you give him bail? If this was anybody else, he would not have gotten bail. She said his past conduct, SAing 5 young girls, including some of his sisters, when he was a minor in 2002 and 2003, was also of concern. Comstock also made the point that the ages of some of the children in the CP are close to the ages of his children. I want to throw up in my mouth. He shares 6 children, ages 11 and under, with his pregnant wife, Anna. She's pregnant, y'all. Like, can you imagine? As well as his younger siblings. However, when she said it was a very close call, while she said it was a very close call when it came to her decision, she was letting him out with many conditions. Okay, so this was you make no sense, Judge. So, like, I feel like some of these judges are, like, starstruck when these, like, celebrities go in front of them. Per those conditions, Josh will be in home confinement, but not at his own home nor a guest house on the property of his parents, Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar. Instead, he'll be staying with friends and his parents, a pastor, and his wife. So he's going to be within the church. So that means that if he wants something, he will get it, in my opinion, because I understand how these churches work. And they're a part of an even more extreme version. There will be electric monitoring. He's restricted to the residence at all times except work, church. Oh, so he's allowed to go to work. He's allowed to go to church where there's literal children. He's allowed to go to doctor's appointments, which I'm sure there are literal children, meetings with his lawyer, and court appearances. He must not also possess or view CP of any kind or any P of any kind. He is not allowed to use any internet capable device. You guys really think that he's not going to be on a device that has internet? You see this man walking around with a damn flip phone? Because I don't see that happening. The judge did decide he could have unlimited visitations with his children as long as Anna is present at the time. So he's also still allowed to have supervised visits with his children. Josh, who lives, I don't care where he lives, is not to see any other minor children, including siblings and nieces and nephews. As of now, his jury trial is scheduled to begin July 6th with pretrial conference on July 1st. So he is literally going to be out for what? May, June, July. So 2 months. Now, in my opinion, someone with this kind of history, like you're going to let him out and you don't even know what could happen. Because some people that are sick like this, and if all this is true, which I do firmly believe it's true, but I have to say alleged because these are allegations. You're not guilty until proven guilty, innocent until proven guilty, right? That's what they say anyways. But somebody with these sick thoughts in their head, right? And like I said, you can't change this kind of sick. What if he wanted to go out with a bang? Like he knew that he was going to, like this is going to get dark, y'all, though. But like, what if he knew, like, I'm looking at this amount of time. I don't want to be in jail for the rest of my life, blah, 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 blah. Like, I will never understand how people like this can get away with all this stuff. So it says, many new details about Josh's arrest emerged during the hearing. Homeland Security investigation, blah, 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 who raided Josh's used car lot where the computer was uncovered in November 2019, spoke about the dozens of images depicting minors with nothing on and abuse to children on that content that was found on a hidden hard drive of Josh's work desktop after a forensic investigation. Fucking gross, man. I don't understand how people like this exist. So it says that in May 2019, escalated to Homeland Security. One was a 2+ minute video of 2 children with nothing on. You guys, major trigger warning as I read this. I should have said this in the beginning because I didn't realize it was going to get this graphic. So it says that one of the things that they confiscated was a 2-minute+ video of 2 children that had nothing on, that were girls, engaging in acts together, if you know what I mean, Jelly Bean, where they were being assaulted by a adult male. The second was a zip file of 65 images of minor children between the ages of 7 and 9 with nothing on, showing parts of their body. I'm trying to be very vague here, you guys. This is so gross. Like, how could you... I don't understand why they would give him bail. Like, I don't know. This is why I have such a hard time covering this kind of stuff, because I don't want it to trigger me or anybody else. Prosecutors claim the illegal images show CP involving minors ranging from the ages of 12 to as young as toddlers. And you let this man get bail, I'm gonna literally throw something. I'm literally, my skin is crawling. Like, I don't think I've ever been this mad. I didn't think this was going to go into detail like this. I read the other article before I came on live, but not this one. So the officer testified that the images were exchanged via a peer-to-peer file sharing called BitTorrent. The forensic investigation also found a program on the desktop called Conveyant Eyes, which we talked about, which allows a user to quit pee by reporting to an accountability partner. What kind of bullshit is that? In this case, wife Anna, if the user visits P sites to get around triggering a report, Josh allegedly installed a Linux partition, which divided the computer's hard drive into two isolated sections to hide what was being viewed in one of them. So he wasn't dumb. Like I said earlier, like he knew. He was like, "Hi, Sin." He was like, I'm going to do this. I know she has this software on here, which she probably told him that she had this software on there, like before she even put it on there. Like they probably sat down. I'm just saying, like, knowing how the Mormon community is, they probably sat down as a couple. She probably said, okay, I'm going to put this on. It is very frustrating to hear, Sin. I agree. I'm going to put this on the computer to monitor this. Or he manipulated her and said, okay, if I want you to trust me again, let me let's get this software and you can put it on my computer and you can monitor everything I'm seeing. Hi, Sin. How are you, honey? So it says he also used a Tor browser to surf the dark web. The way he accessed that part of the computer was by inputting a special password. And the one used was one Josh often used for other accounts, including for a personal banking, which included his birth year in the password. It was also noted the screensaver on the desktop allegedly used to view CP was a photo of Josh with Anna and their children. How freaking sick. Let me read that again. It was noted the screensaver on the desktop allegedly used to view CP was a literal photo of him with his wife and children. You cannot fix this sick. I'm all right. I thought this was going to be way more chill, but I'm just getting like heated the more I read this. A day before the hearing, Josh's attorney, and the fact that they gave him bond, that is what is so mind-blowing to me. And he's allowed to go to church. And I will tell you that Mormon churches are literally filled with children. Like there's more children than there is adults at these Mormon churches or wards, whatever you want to call them. A day before the hearing, Josh's attorney filed legal documents requesting to be released on bail. They argued that he's known about the investigation since HSI raided his then business in November 2019, at which time he fully complied with turning over his computers and electronic devices. After that, Josh, who had no criminal convictions, made no attempt to flee the area or the country. He was actually in touch with the U.S. Attorney's Office in connection with the investigation, and the government permitted him to a voluntary self-surrender after charges were filed against him last week. So they're saying that he should get bail because he didn't try to run before, so he won't try to run this time. And that he's been compliant the entire time. Josh's legal team further noted that his reality stardom prevents him from being a flight risk. How does that... Wait, what? That his reality stardom prevents him from being a flight risk because he is widely recognizable, his face is, and that he has spent the majority of his life in the public spotlight, making any concern that he is a risk of flight all that more unwarranted. As he has demonstrated for the last 17 months during which he has been aware of the investigation, there is no danger of Duggar fleeing. I disagree. We are at a time where you can, if you have money, you can do anything and get anywhere. Not only that, we're at a time where we're wearing masks constantly, right? I feel like that's BS. If he really wanted to flee, he could flee. If you have money, you can do anything. So to me, that is complete BS. Just because he's famous, he can't flee. Make it make sense. Josh became a part of the public eye due to his parents allowing cameras to capture his life with their 19 children, all of whose names begin with the letter J. Who gives a damn? He went on to marry Anna, starting a large family of their own. Oh, look at this poor girl, Anna. Like, a part of me is mad at this woman, but a part of me is like, I understand. She was brought up in that church. Like, could you imagine finding out and knowing that your husband is that sick in the head and that you have literally 6 going on 7 children with this man, and she's pregnant right now? She is pregnant. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I got to take a break from reading this. I want to find out how you guys are feeling. Sorry, I've been annoying the chat. I literally went off on a freaking rampage. His wife needs some serious questioning. I agree, but I also feel like, again, knowing how that church works, I understand the brainwashing that happens to these women. This is the article on Josh Duggar. It's on Yahoo Entertainment. I just grabbed one of the first articles that I saw that was released not that long ago. That wasn't like freaking Daily Mail or something. Prison separates pedos from Gen Pop as a rehabilitation service. That's not always true, Rev. I've had friends that have gone to jail and that are in prison, and they are in General Pop there are pedos in General Pop with them. It just depends on the prison. Every prison is different. These people get freaking vocational prisons in comparison. Exactly. He'll probably go to a nice federal prison, because federal prisons usually aren't that bad. Not as bad as like state prisons. State prisons are awful. Hi, Rocky, just being pissed off with the system. Exactly. How are you, though, Rocky Mountain? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Rocky. You're probably like, what? I was hoping that everybody that saw the title and the thumbnail would realize what I was talking about. I probably should have put a trigger warning with this, but like, I didn't think the articles were going to go this into detail, and 2, I kind of figured everybody that was going to be watching this would be like, because it's everywhere. Everybody's talking about this. Everybody is, yeah, the news is talking about it. There's articles. Yeah, I think she knew. That's what I'm saying. She knew about this behavior. It's not like she didn't know about it. She definitely knew about this behavior. They had to have sat down and had this conversation, and either he manipulated her or she knew and she was just trying to because they really don't condone divorce in the Mormon church. Yeah, if you guys find that this subject is too serious for you guys or triggering, do not feel like you need to stay and watch this, guys. It will not hurt my feelings, because I can understand how this kind of stuff can be very triggering. I'm horrified for his children too, because now they have to grow up knowing that their father is like this. And not only that, we don't even know if anything has happened to his children. Yep, he's allowed to be around his kids and he's allowed to go to church. Which there are literally more children at a Mormon church or ward than there are adults. I'm not kidding. Because these couples have so many children. They are encouraged to keep having children. Oh, no, don't be. It's okay, Nikki. Oh, sorry, Alyssa. I didn't mean to delete your comment. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. That's my hand going numb and me just like trying to get the screen to move. I'm sorry. You didn't do anything wrong, Alyssa. It's my freaking mod. Hopefully I didn't like do anything wrong. Yeah, permanent sleep. Did they say how much bond for? I don't remember seeing that. I haven't seen anything that says how much the bond was, but if you're really curious about the nitty gritty about how the hearing went today, any of you guys, Ella, ELLEBBEE on YouTube. She used to go by Leslie Bass. She actually was a part of the Zoom hearing today, and she has been talking about this. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I didn't mean to put her. Can I take her out of timeout? Oh my god, I feel so bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Alyssa. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry, Alyssa. But she's LEB, Leslie Bass, has been covering this whole thing, and she has a lot of details. So I highly encourage people to go to her channel and check out what she has, like, for content on this. Yeah, there'll definitely be a tell-all. They highly discourage birth control. Yes, Nikki. If you're married, no birth control. They actually, I think, in general, don't allow birth control. Yeah, if he has money, then he can... Money talks, right? Money talks, money walks, right? The investigation has been going on since 2019. Same case, yes. And they just keep finding new stuff from what I am gathering from the stuff that I'm reading. Like, they seized the computer at his business he used to have, which he shut down after it was raided. And then they found more stuff from how I'm interpreting this information. When they went and arrested him, they seized more stuff and found more stuff. But I could be wrong. I could be misinterpreting the information. But I know for a fact when they seized his computer, which he handed over, they said, well, they raided his place, so of course he was going to hand over his electronics, right? What was he going to do? Tell them, no, you can't take that even though you're raiding me. So they're trying to paint it like he was being compliant, but yet in reality, they were going to seize it anyways, right? So, like, of course, it makes him look better. Like, he's not dumb. He's been in the spotlight his whole life. His father, Jim Bob, or whatever, is... Thank you, Revcast, YouTube. I appreciate that. Or YT. I'm assuming that stands for YouTube. But, like, his family, his father, is one of the biggest, in my opinion, scammers in the world. And the family is ridiculous. Not all of them, but most of them, right? Because there are a few good shells. Have a good night too, hun. There are a few good nuts in that little clan, but from what I've read anyways. But his father has taught him well. The church has taught him well, in my opinion, how to manipulate. And thank you, Cassidy. So he knows, hey, I'm getting raided. I am just going to give it to them because they're going to find it anyways. So it's going to make me look better to just give it to them. And, like, the sad thing is, like, my daughter's father, biological father, his father is a pastor. And I can tell y'all that pastors know how to manipulate. So Jim Bob is a pastor or a bishop, and they know how to manipulate. So that's why a lot of pastors' children and things like that end up acting out when they get older and when they're, like, teens, is because there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. And, like, being a pastor or a minister or a bishop, trying to keep up appearances is huge. Like, that's what, like, appearance and, like, what you present to the outside world matters more to these types of people than actually genuinely caring and trying to help their children and their family. Like, I could never imagine what was going on behind closed doors in this family. Like, I would not even want to know what was happening behind closed doors. Jim Bob has to be the most made-up sounding name I've ever heard. I know, right? It's his name, though. I'm not even kidding. That's his name, Jim Bob. The Duggars practice an exclusive form of Christianity called independent baptism. I thought they were Mormons, because I'm pretty sure they're Mormons. Which I guess Mormons do identify as Christians in Christianity, but I know someone named Jimbob. I almost said Nimbob. They are not Mormon. They are fundamentalists. Oh, okay. I'm wrong. I am wrong then. I've been saying Mormon this whole time. See, people know. This is why I wanted to have this chat. Sorry, Alyssa. See, I thought they were Mormon. So I went on this whole Mormon rant. So tell me, art girl. I knew they were fundamentalists. Gothard teaching. Very sick. Please tell me more. Why is that most children associate religion with trauma, though? These adults just try to suffocate young people into blindness. I agree, Cassidy. Art girl, tell me more. If you would, ever so kindly. Now I want to... Why did I think they were a Mormon? Okay, so what did they call it? Gothard? Let's look this up. No, not Bill Gothard. Gothard religion. See, this is why I like having open discussions with you guys, because I learned from you guys. So what is Gothard? Gothard religion, the Institute and Basic Life Principles, IBLP, is a non-denominational Christian organization in Oak. I don't care what it is. I want to know so it was established by Bill Gothard for the purpose of resolving youth and family conflicts. This sounds like a training program. You too, Sin. Thank you. Yeah, I thought they were Mormon too, Alyssa. I did. I thought this whole time they were Mormon. Good night, Sin. Have a good night, honey. Thanks for being here. So it looks like there's this... Now, this is making me want to do a deep dive on them even more now. So it looks like the Gothard religion was founded by Bill Gothard, and he is an American Christian minister, speaker, and writer, and the founder of Institute and Basic Life Principles, which this sounds like some kind of program, but it's a religion. Independent Baptist. Okay. Yeah, so they were, who was it that said it? Something art. Where are they? Art girl said that it's called Gothard religion, which I found what Gothard religion is. It says that it's the Institute and Basic Life Principle. Doesn't that sound like a course you would take? Like a Christian course you would take, not a church or religion? So now I want to know more about this. Have you guys ever heard of the Gothard religion? I've never heard of this. I always assumed, again, I don't watch TV. I never watched this show, but I always assumed they were Mormon. Now I feel bad going on my like huge Mormon rant. Have a good night, Pink Bandana. Thanks for being here, darling. So it says, what is ATI or IBLP? It says, referred to as Gothardism. Within fundamentalist Christian circles, the teachings of ATI form are ideological systems of practice based on the extremely strict fundamentalist and idiosyncratic Bible interpretations of the organizer's founder, Bill Gothard, a man who in 2014 stepped down as the head of ATI. And then it goes into an article. It says, I could have been a Duggar wife. I grew up in the same church, and the abuse scandal doesn't shock me. From a woman that was raised in ATI. So it seems like it is, I've never heard of this. So it seems like this Gothard person has had a lot of things come out about him with girls as well, of him having allegations of misconduct with young girls. So I wonder, this makes more sense to me. So it wouldn't surprise me if this was normalized, like Josh Duggar's behavior was normalized in the Gothard religion. Wow, I am mind blown, y'all. I am freaking mind blown. One, I feel like an idiot because I always thought they were Mormon. And two, I'm mind blown because, well, good, maybe since they're not Mormon, there won't be as many children at their churches. Yeah, so the person who founded the religion, Bill Gothard, he is a leading figure of the Christian right, but there's a ton of articles on him having his own shady past with young girls. Like there's this article called The Fundamentalist Trap, allegations of harassment with the S word brought down Bill Gothard, a leading figure of the Christian right, but his fall also revealed the diminished influence of the fundamentalist and the Trump era, which I don't care about politics. So there's a 16-year-old that had allegations, and he was like in his 60s. What? I am freaking mind blown right now. I had no idea about this. No idea. See, this is why I like these discussions, because y'all are the ones that I literally was ranting for like 80 minutes about Mormons, and now I find out, oh, it's not even Mormons. That's what I'm seeing, Deep Soul Tarot. By the way, how are you, love? I didn't see you come in. I don't know much about non-denominational, but I went to one place, didn't know it could be something specific. Yeah, I didn't know that either, Cassidy. Yeah, sounds like a course, never heard that. I totally see the independent Baptist part because they are so extreme with their beliefs. Yeah, they're so extreme. That's why I thought they were Mormon, because a lot of their beliefs are beliefs that Mormons have. I don't know. Let me see what it says. So I want to try this DuckDuckGo site that everybody talked about last night. There we go, DuckDuckGo. And I am going to see what kind of church is Gothard religion. I can't spell for shit. Yes, add DuckDuckGo. Set as homepage. Okay. Well, I found something that says, what kind of church do the Duggars go to? So it says, like, I've seen videos of the Duggars and like other fundy, like there's another family on YouTube that's a fundy family, and they have like a small following, but they're like super extreme. I remember because Katie Joy covers a lot of the fundies, and I remember she did a video on the family, not the Duggars, but a different family, and I went and I checked them out, and it was like really weird. But I always coincided fundamentalists with Mormons for some reason, but I guess I've been wrong this entire time. And the clips that I saw of this family, because they had a YouTube channel of a wedding, and not a YouTube channel of a wedding, but a YouTube video on their YouTube channel of one of their daughters getting married, and it was like at the church, but it was like very weird. Like it wasn't like what you would think church would be. I want clips. I like photos, not just images. Here we go. All I'm getting is images of the Gothard person. See, some places are calling it a movement, not even a, here we go. Yeah, this is like what I saw in the YouTube videos, was like churches like this, like old school, middle of nowhere, small, tiny churches that just have like maybe 20 people, which in my opinion, if that's the kind of church that Josh is going to be going to, that might be a good thing. Because I was thinking it was Mormon churches, and those are huge most of the time, and there's tons of children. So if anything, I don't know. But it also makes me worried because that means it's a smaller group, which means he can get away with more. Josh touched 5 of his sisters that came out in 2007. No, he touched 2 of them, not 5 of them. He touched 5 girls, young girls, but 2 of them were his sisters. Or 2, I should say 2 of his sisters came forward and said that out of the 5 people, 2 of the people were them. So it could have been more of his sisters too, but they just didn't come forward. 2 of his sisters came forward saying that we were 2 of the people. He was a teenager when he touched them. And I think that's why people kind of not forgave him, but like gave him some leeway and slack because he was a teen when it happened. But like, there's no excuse for the behavior that is happening here. It is a devout, independent Baptist religion, I heard. Yeah, I'm like super intrigued by this religion now. I'm good, Deep Soul. I'm super mind blown, man. DuckDuckGo is the best. Yeah, so far I'm actually really liking it. I've been using it a little bit today. I appreciate you guys. Here, let me put in Duggar info because I just want to see. I just said I wanted to add it to my homepage. Why do you keep set as default? Set as homepage, set as default. Go into Safari in the top menu, open Windows, click areas, click preferences, general tab. Okay, I'll do that in a minute. Jill Duggar's husband, Derek Dillard, who has been outspoken for years about the family, said today Duggar parents misled people for years. I agree, Elizabeth. And if, like I said, if you just even look at the founder of their religion, he has had his own allegations against him. So again, it makes me wonder if this is normalized in their religion and church, because especially it being so small, right? I don't know. I'm so intrigued now. Now I like want to dig more. I love research though. Cassidy, he was a teenager when when it was alleged, well, not alleged, but because it did happen, when he said that he did that to 5 young girls. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing okay. Yes, 2 sisters was 5 girls. I worded wrong. Sorry. No, it's okay, Alyssa. I mean, oh my gosh, Elizabeth. Such a disgusting struggle to keep up with people by this type of info. Yeah, I agree, Cassidy. Yeah, I don't really know too much about him and the family, but have heard things recently. Yeah, I thought I knew a little chunk about them, but I was wrong this entire time. I thought they were Mormon. I went on my whole Mormon rant. And they're not even Mormon. By the way, this is the coconut strawberry refresher. These are really good. I'm really glad for this discussion because I have no idea most of this stuff. Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about it, Alyssa, because I wanted to just talk with everybody because I'm like, I don't watch TV. I only know a little bit about the Duggars. I know about Josh Duggar just from stuff that I've read and watched. But like, I wonder if my audience knows anything about the Duggars. That's why I wanted to talk about this with you guys because I like doing this. You know, I want to see like how you guys feel and like, is it something you want me to talk about? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So like, I want to start doing this more where I talk with you guys and I can see like yay or nay on if you would want to discuss it more or what kind of knowledge you guys have, what your opinions are. And I would also honestly in my like deep dive videos and stuff like to include some of y'all's opinions or maybe do like, I'd love to see you cover this like you did Dr. Phil. Okay, I can definitely do that. I want to do more on Dr. Phil too. That's what I'm saying, Nikki. Like I definitely want to start talking to you guys more when topics come up. Now I know everyone and their mother, brother, sister is covering this right now. But I think I wouldn't even want to cover just Josh. I want to talk about the whole religion itself. The other thing I wanted to ask you guys really quickly too about is that there is this cult and it was called like the Mother of Love. I think is that what it's called? Mother of Love cult. I'll find it in like 2 seconds. No, it's called she was Mother God, and the cult was called, she was actually on Dr. Phil, and she was called Love Has One cult. And this woman, Amy, she was the leader and she was called Mother God, right? There was a whole Dr. Phil episode on her. After I saw that episode, I went and did a bunch of research on her. Well, last year she went missing on Mother's Day, and I've been keeping up with this story. And I'm surprised no one is talking about this, but she went missing a year ago. And recently, like yesterday or today, her husband was actually arrested for her murder. So it says, hold on. So now this, it says, son of deceased, Love Has One cult leader says he doesn't want her work continued. So it says the estranged son of the religious cult leader whose corpse was found mummified and covered in Christmas lights. How bizarre. Last month in Colorado has spoken out about his mother's death and has said he does not want her work to continue. Now, this whole thing was like this woman, she said she had all these illnesses, and the reason why she had all these illnesses is from her healing all these people. It was very bizarre, like this cult, but like people actually believed her and thought that she was like a god, like was God. So yeah, it came out that the husband was arrested. I think it was today. I want to say it was today. I could be wrong. Let me see. What did I just call it? Love cult arrest. Yeah, they arrested a ton of the members, but I think it was her husband was arrested today. Love Has One, that's what it's called. So it says 7 suspected cult members arrested. I just saw the articles today and the headlines of her husband being arrested. Why am I not seeing it on here? Hold on. Love Has One husband arrest. So everything I'm seeing is saying that the 7 members were arrested and charged of her being deceased, which honestly, like she would take all their money allegedly. Like she was not nice at all. She was so cruel to them. Like there's so much stuff that's out there about this woman. And like I said, I did a lot of research on it after I saw the Dr. Phil episode. And I couldn't blame these cult members. Not that murder is good in any way, shape, or form. But I could see these cult members snapping. So I don't know if that's something that you guys would be interested in me talking about, is like that cult and like all this stuff that's coming out. And then there's another cult that I actually know a lot about. It's called Carbon Nation, and it's like an sex cult, if you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. And he is the man that has multiple wives, and it's alleged that he has he has herpes, which there's nothing wrong with having herpes, but then he says he doesn't believe in herpes. And then there's allegations that he's spreading STDs. People are sending him money. Like, there's a lot of cults that I want to talk about, but I know it can be a sensitive subject. Like, look at these 7 people that were arrested for her murder, allegedly accused of her murder. But I saw on YouTube today on the news that, again, the husband was just arrested. So I'm like, why am I not seeing that online? Very bizarre. I'm not seeing that online. Like, very bizarre. I don't know. Sorry. Look back at the comments. It is looked at as a mistake. This cult breeds this type of issue, including actions on the pictures. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Nurse Robin. Like, I'm glad their religion doesn't make them untouchable by the law. Yeah, like Scientology. I feel like Scientology is like untouchable by the law. Yeah, he has, Jill's husband, Derek, he has spoken up quite a bit. There's also been other people in the Duggar family that have spoken up as well, but not as loud, in my opinion, as Derek. Hiding behind the shield of calling it a religion, at least it seems like it. I agree, Deep Soul Tarot. It's really yummy. I'm usually not a big fan of like scented coconut, but I love the taste of coconut. So it's coconut milk with like the flavor. I don't think it has caffeine in it though. I'm just wide awake because I went to sleep at like 4 and slept until almost 11. My sleep schedule is going to be so off. When I work my double tomorrow at work, I'm going to be like, meh. Ever since I watched their show when it first came out, I thought they were Mormon. I think a lot of people do. Yeah, I did, Alyssa. I thought they were Mormon. Yeah, they have coconut strawberry, they have a peach one, and then they have a pomegranate one. So, but they were so rude to me at Dunkin's. If you're on my TikTok, you already know this, but we ordered a large one of these, a small one of these. I got my cold brew. I got Kyle's Mama Coffee, and then I got 2 donuts. And they were like being rude at me, telling me that I ordered too much stuff. And I'm like, what? Like super rude to me. And I usually tip my Dunkin's people when I go there, and I didn't tip them. I was like, that's so rude. You can actually make really good money at Dunks because they pay a good amount an hour. Well, at least around here, the franchise, and they get tips. Like, I made really good money when I was a Dunkin's GM. I spent many years from 6 to 23 years in the Duggar Gothard cult. You did, Nurse Robin? Like, you were in it? Because I never heard of the Gothard religion before. Now, I thought they were Mormon. And now I feel dumb for going on my Mormon rant. Oh, there's definitely got to be more secrets in that family. I was trying to think of things for you to discuss today, but my mind kept going blank. Oh, no, it's okay, Alyssa. I always have a million ideas. That's my problem, but I don't have enough time. So it's always nice for me to do these chats, and I want to start doing them more so that I can know what you guys want to see, and I can kind of push that ahead of other stuff. In my above comment, I mentioned Susan Morphew was a lady who went missing a year ago on Mother's Day. That's what I thought. So she was okay. So maybe I'm getting them mixed up. Am I getting them mixed up, Amanda? Because I feel like maybe I'm getting them mixed up. Because I know there was a woman who went missing on Mother's Day where the husband was just arrested. So am I getting the two cases mixed up? Because I could be. It wouldn't surprise me if I'm getting them mixed up. Okay, I am getting them mixed up. Thank you, Amanda. Love Has Won is in Colorado Springs and happened recently. Okay, thank you. So it wasn't the husband. Because I was going to say, I didn't think that the cult leader woman was married. That's why I was so confused. I'm like, in all the research I ever did on her, I never saw anything about her being married that I could think of. Like, currently married. I think she was married previously, but I could be wrong. I don't think so. I'm far from the jealous type, but I don't think I could. But I really give a specific reason why, to be honest. Wasn't that dude the one that killed the pregnant wife and 2 daughters in Colorado too? Am I remembering correctly? Watts. Yeah, the Shannon Watts thing. Oh, that's so sad. With Chris Watts. I'm not jealous, but I am possessive. He's mine, and that's that. Yeah, see, my boyfriend and I are not jealous at all. He always tells me that if I ever leave him, it's going to be for a woman. He's probably right, though. Yes, they both happen here. Love Has Won was in Colorado Springs, where Susan Morphy lives somewhere else in the area. Okay, so that's why I'm confusing them. Okay, thank you, Amanda. Yes, that case was crazy. He tried to say she killed the kids. Yeah, that whole case is like heartbreaking. For sure, there are so many reasons why I couldn't, is why I can't be specific. Just don't see how you can share the person you're in love with. Yeah, it works for some people, like polyamory and stuff. The employees at my local Dunkin' Donuts are so rude. People complain about them all the time on the town's Facebook page. Yeah, so our local Dunkin' Donuts is like 30 minutes from me. Well, like 20 minutes from me probably. But it's shut down now because they're remodeling. They used to be in the gas station, but now they have their own building they're building. And yeah, they would get a lot of complaints and they were super freaking rude. But they've taken all their employees and they've put them in different other Dunkins that are in other towns in the area. So this one that we went to, because ours is closed, I don't go to Dunkin's very often anymore. So one of the old assistant managers from that one that's more local to me, that's who said that to me today. So it's like, girl, you know me. Like, why are you being rude to me? Like, she was so, at first I thought she was kidding, so I laughed, and then she rolled her eyes at me and like breathed heavy, and I was like, oh, she's serious. Oh, hi, Bambi. How are you, darling? No worries, I just have to know because I live in Denver, just have been seeing the 2 cases. Yeah, I'm so glad you told me, Amanda. I'm getting everything wrong tonight in this live chat. First, I got it wrong because I thought that the Duggars were Mormons, but they're not. They're part of some weird religion that I'd never heard of that now I want to do a deep dive on. And then I was confusing the Love Has Won cult murder with another missing woman's murder. You know. But yeah, would you guys be interested in a video on the Love Has Won, like, cult and the that murder? Like, she was found mummified in Christmas lights. Like, cuckoo bananas, right? I could see these people though in this cult just snapping. Like, I'm not one to promote Dr. Phil, but that episode literally made, I won't do true crime, Bambi, I don't think. Just because true crime is really hard for me because of my friend's murder. I don't think I can do it. And I feel like, as much as I feel like true crime channels go in with the best intentions, it can really be traumatizing for families that go through that and have to keep rehearing their loved one's case all the time. So I look at it, I mean, I love true crime, don't get me wrong. I love Stephanie Harlow. That is my B word. I love her. But because I love the way she handles cases. She does a really good job. Plus, I also feel like true crime is very oversaturated right now on YouTube as well. So I kind of want to try to stay in my lane. Yeah, I did too, Nikki. I wanted to hear more about the experience as well. That's why I asked her. Nurse Robin, where did you go? We want you back. You intrigued us, and then you pulled out. Yeah, some Cheyenne, some Duncans don't let you tip, which is crazy. They'll get fired for taking them. It's weird. Yeah, I worked at a Dunkin's like that too, where they didn't let you take tips, which I never understood why. Thank you, Amy. I'm so glad you told me, Amy. I feel like a dodo face now. So from everything that I've read in this article about Josh Duggar, I don't know who posted bond. I don't know how much the bond was. Sorry, I was trying to read the ending of the article. I don't know who posted the bond. I don't know who the third party person is that he is staying with. But I'm pretty sure that if you go to LEB or Leslie Bass, if you know, she will have that information for you guys, because she was in the Zoom call for the hearing today. Because they originally arrested him for property fraud. I'm so confused. I can't believe his wife is pregnant right now. That's so insane to me. I'm sure I saw that too, but I must have forgot. The doc I saw had a lot of actual footage of him like letting police in when he reported her missing, and him loading his truck that night. Yeah, it was intense. The Chris Watts case was so intense. Like, he was, in my opinion, he was definitely a narcissist, sociopath. Like, he lied so much, reported her missing. Christopher Watts also helped write a book not long ago where he admits that Shannon in fact didn't kill the girls and that he did. The book is called Letters from Christopher, for anyone interested. Ooh, I didn't know that. For as beautiful as Co is, some craziness happens here. Lots of it. Yeah, I have to agree with that, Amanda. Colorado, there is a lot of weird stuff that happens there. I'm doing all right, Bambi. How are you, honey? If I go to the Dunkin', Baskin Robbins in another town, they're always out of chocolate ice cream. I like my chocolate shakes made with chocolate ice cream, so I go to Roy Rogers instead. I haven't seen a Dunkin' Donuts with a Baskin Robbins in it since I lived in Florida. It's been so long. I always found that those Dunkins had more options, though, like for drinks and stuff. More cults and true crime. I definitely will do more cult stuff. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't know about the about Amy and her cult, but it's a wild one. Ooh, ooh. Oh, it's okay, Bambi. It's okay. Where did I know? I want to know where Nurse Robin went. Oh shoot, is she live? Just placed a $200 with her, and I'm supposed to be there while she's making the stuff. Oh, go if you need to go, Nikki. Go ahead, honey. I'm probably not going to be live for that much longer. Yeah, usually bond is public. So let me see if I can figure it out. What was Josh Duggar's bond? Oh, I should put 2021, right? You're right. There's lots of true crime around YouTube and even TikTok. Yeah, it's like we have makeup channels doing true crime. There's so much true crime content out there right now. All right, let's see. Wow, 200 images, y'all, of CP. 200 images. You know, it is public record, but since it just happened not that long ago, it might not be posted yet how much his bond is. Because it said he wouldn't be released till tomorrow. Hey, I heard you. My phone's gonna die. I totally agree, Tarrah. I don't want to trigger anyone. I am just a person that likes hearing stories about people that have situations that saw justice that I didn't see. Oh, yeah, I totally understand that. There's nothing wrong with true crime content. I love true crime content. No, Nikki, if you need to go, honey, go. It won't upset me. You know that. I'd rather you do what you need to do, honey. She said a third person will be living with them to make sure he's not doing anything. He also is not allowed around minors, including his kids. Yes, that is true. That is what it said anyways. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better, Christina. But if it's already paid and he couldn't pay it, wife, dad, yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing anything that says how much the bail was, or who paid it. Wait, hold on. Nope, that's not it. This is all about the bond hearing. Hold on, let me put Arkansas in here. Arkansas. Ooh, I like that TikTok name, Haley. How are you, Haley? I don't think it is paid yet. I don't know. That's why I'm confused, because the articles I've been reading are saying that he is going to be released on bond to a third party with an ankle monitor, but he isn't being released till Thursday, so it hasn't been paid yet. And I'm not seeing the amount. Let me see. I can read pretty fast, so just give me a second, guys. I'm not trying to, like, just be mute here. Children. Ugh, every time I see this mugshot, I get the chills. Oh, his family. I don't show kids on my channel, but his family is so beautiful. Like, his children, they're so beautiful. So he's got 1, 2, 3 girls, 4 boys, and a child on the way. Yeah, it doesn't say how much it's going to be, but I can almost guarantee, I keep saying it, that Lellebee, I'll also link her down below once this processes. We'll have the information about how much the bail was, and if there's anybody that has come forward to say that they are going to pay it for him. The second COVID shot got me so sick. I'd rather feel like this than having COVID. Yeah, I had a hard time with the second shot too, Christina. Which is weird to me though, because it's like I went and got the vaccine. Like, I've had the vaccine, so I'm fully vaccinated now, right? I've had both of them, but I still have to wear a mask everywhere, which I don't mind wearing a mask. Like, I actually kind of like the fact that like when we're sick, we wear a mask now out of common courtesy. But like I still have to wear my mask everywhere, still have to have my temperature taken everywhere. Like nothing has changed with me getting the vaccine. So it's like I don't know. It's like weird. Like I was trying to say that at my doctor's appointment today for my hand. Like they were doing all these tests and I'm like, "Well, I have my COVID vaccines. Like I'm fully vaccinated." And they're like, "That doesn't matter." And I'm like, "Then why did I get the vaccine?" Like I know you can still get it, but like I've already gone down that. Like I've already dealt with it. So like but I'm glad you're feeling better, Christina. I will have to read on this guy. I have heard some stuff, not all about it. Well, I talked more about it in the beginning of this live, Christina, but yeah, he's definitely got a past of issues. And the fact that he has CP and like because sadly there's people out there that believe, well, oh, just because someone has CP doesn't mean that they have hurt minors, you know what I mean? Essayed minors. But like the thing is like he has a history of that. Even if he was an older teen, he did do that. He has a history of it. And some people believe that looking at CP is not a bad thing because they're not committing the act of doing it, right? I don't agree with that. I think that's absolutely disgusting. And how do we know that he has not SA'd more children? We just haven't found out about it yet. And like he's in a position of power and privilege. So like these children, if it's happened to children, right? They may be scared to come forward. And this is alleged. I'm not saying he has done this, but if he has, of course these children would be scared to come forward, right? And then you also have to think about all the CP that he's watched, which is absolutely disgusting to think about, but these children are being SA'd. 1,000% being SA'd in these clips. Like just the details that I read, which I did not think the article would go that detailed, but it did. The children are being SA'd. So even if you're someone who thinks, oh, well, viewing CP isn't as bad as committing the act, the children are literally being SA'd in the CP. So make it make sense. Oh, the kid's giving you some problems, Nikki. Yeah, I agree. Those poor kids. Okay, listen, no problem, honey. I love wearing a mask. It's like an accessory at this point. I agree, Cassidy. Like I have my special mask. I like the, I got cute ones. I have a whole like a whole basket just for masks for me and the kids and Kyle. Literally witnessing CP is a crime. Exactly, Cassidy. Intentionally. I agree. Somebody has to do it to make CP, so no, it's not okay at all. I agree, Nikki, but like I said, there are literally people, I've seen discussions on the internet before where people will try to have that argument of, oh, well, it is, it's better than them not going out and committing the act. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because literally these children are going through it in order for you to have that content. This, by the way, this live stream will probably be demonetized because of my conversation, which I'm fine with. I wanted to talk about this. Do you think stuff has been done to him and that is why he's doing it? It could be, Christina, especially since he was doing stuff as a teen to young girls. Usually that is a sign. It doesn't always mean that, but usually that is a sign something has happened to him. But that doesn't make it okay that he is continuing that behavior as an adult. Some people are just sick and there's something wrong in their brain and they are like that. And there's nothing you can do to change it. There is no fixing that, in my opinion anyways. After testing positive for COVID last November 2020, I don't think I will ever not wear a mask now. It has become routine for me now. I'm a bit of a germaphobe anyways, so I might as well. Yeah, I agree, Deep Soul Tarot. Like, it didn't hit my area as bad as it hit bigger cities because, like, we got hit later. Like, we didn't really get a surge until Thanksgiving of 2020, It would be 2020. We got our surge, but like my work, we got exposed. And it was because all the people from the city were coming up to rural America because they deemed it safe and they were coming up here to vacation and travel, and they spread it like wildfire here. And because it's a small town, everybody knows everybody, everybody goes to the same supermarket, the same one gas station. It spread really fast. There's only one nursing home, so it was like really, really fast it spread. But we didn't have any outbreaks. Like our numbers were non-existent, and then they started allowing travelers, or people were just coming here. Like our tourism was better with the big C going on because people were coming here because they thought it was safer for their families and stuff. And that's why it's so hard us trying to buy a house right now, because everybody from the big cities and larger states are coming up here and buying all of the property because it's safer up here. All because of the big C happening. And that's why all the property is like triple in price what it normally is up here right now. I think he's a sicko, to be honest. I'm so glad to see so many of you say you're going to continue to wear your mask. I agree, Cassidy. It doesn't make it okay. Predators get less time in jail than drug users, which is disgusting. I agree. I agree, the Pope of Metal. Masks have become a fashion statement now. I agree. Excedrin migraine helped me so much. I had a bad migraine, body chills, low fever, and it all helped. That was my issue, Christina. My first shot, I was fine. My arm was sore for a few hours, and that was it. My second one, not the day of, but the day after, I get migraines, but I swear it was the worst migraine I've had in years. Like literally the worst, and nothing worked. Like I take Toradol as an emergency migraine medication. That didn't even touch it. I was in bed all day. I was so glad I had the day off from work because there's no way I can work sick. It doesn't bother me unless I have a migraine like that. And I was like, I didn't think it was going to end. But after that second day of having that headache, like I only had the headache for one day, but after the second day after my shot where I had that headache and I felt like crap, I was fine. I woke up the next day after that and I was totally fine. I still felt like my stomach hurt a little bit, but other than that, I was fine. I hear on the news that when little kids get C that they have a stroke. I don't think it's every kid. There have been some kids, I think, that have gone through that. There's a slave trade going on in Lebanon or Labaya. Yeah, that's really sad, Wandy. Sadly, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that goes on everywhere, which is really sad. Especially other countries that don't have as many opportunities, like don't have like where the families are easily manipulated and think that their kids are going to have a better life, but then they're sold into other things. Or you have kids that are being kidnapped where they literally are, being taken from their parents and their towns are raided. Like it's really sad when you start looking into that kind of stuff. Cassidy, I love that you asked how you can look into that stuff. It makes me so mad when you see people walking around with no mask and elderly people walking around with no mask, parents letting their kids walk around with no mask. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Yeah, I agree. I will say as a parent, it's really hard to get your kids to understand that they can't, like my kids, I was really surprised with how much they understood as everything was going on. I can also say it definitely affected their mental health. And I know if my kids were affected by it, I can only imagine how other kids have been affected by it. But it's really hard trying to understand that, or trying to get kids to understand, especially my kids' age, um, that they can't touch everything like they used to, because like my kids are so hands on, right? And I'm sure other kids are like this too. So like constantly having to telling them, no, you don't touch that, don't touch that. Pull your mask over your nose, that kind of a thing, chicken wing. It can cause a lot of stress. So yeah, but some people just don't care. I saw a video of these parents having these kids burn piles of masks, and I'm like, why would you do that? I'm not wearing a mask, I'm immune, and the masks don't work anyways. I can understand why some people don't wear a mask. I have autoimmune issues, and I can tell you after quarantine, um, I went back to work after because we were shut down for 5 weeks when COVID first hit. And after being in quarantine, I got so sick because my immune system's already low, and then wearing masks and being quarantined, it went even lower. So I was getting sick constantly because I hadn't built up any immunity at all. And then when my kids went back to school, they had been in quarantine all summer. They were in remote before summer, and we never went anywhere ever. They got sick like so much in the first like 3 to 6 months of school this year. They were sick constantly. I think they've had more sick days than they've ever had because it lowers their immunity, right? But with that being said, they didn't catch the big C because they wore their masks. We stayed quarantined. So I'd rather my kids go through getting extra colds or whatever than possibly getting the big C, especially when I have people in my family and in my immediate household that have extreme asthma, that have COPD, that, I was never worried about me getting it. It was everybody around me I worried about getting it. Yeah, I literally have hand sanitizer on me at always. I love this kind. This is by Lunam Love, and it's the Good Vibes moisturizing hand sanitizer. I like this one because it doesn't dry out my hands as much. I have so many of these because you know how hand sanitizer can dry out your hands. Then there's a stomach virus going around that's like the symptoms of COVID. Oh, it sucks. I read that. I've seen mostly older people not wearing masks, oddly. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of their generation though, because like you have to understand, like the elderly people have gone through so many like end of the world things that I feel like they're kind of just like meh. Okay, I don't want people to argue about masks in my comment section. Everybody is allowed to feel the way that they want to feel. Wear your mask, not wear your mask. But I don't want arguments about mask wearing. I have people I know that don't wear them, don't believe in them. But I will tell you that most of the people that didn't believe in wearing masks when they had a scare that they had the big C or they ended up with the big C, they ended up wearing their mask after and taking it very seriously. Just saying. But I do believe it is, you're right. If you wanna wear it, whatever. Okay, I don't want to get into politics either. And Wandy, I don't know how to say your name, but like um I'm going to try to sound really polite when I say this. You see the title of my video subject? It is not about politics or masks. And I do educate myself about slave trade, slave labor, human trafficking, all that jazz, child slave labor. I feel like my audience member was genuinely asking how they could look into it. And I actually thought that was very great of them to ask you how they could look into it. I'll answer the question though, since your comment was kind of backhanded, like we're on the internet. What do you mean? How do you look into it? Maybe there was a specific site they were trying to figure out they could go look at. Yeah, I can see Cassie saying, I was just asking what specifically the angle you're taking in from Wendy. I'm unfamiliar with the issue. So Cassidy had genuine understanding about, or genuine question about how to look into the subject and how they could get more information about it. And it was kind of a backhanded comment back to them. So again, I don't. Okay, I don't want conversations about masks in here, to be honest with you. I can say that we, as a small rural area, my state has some of the lowest numbers out of the entire 50 states, and we were the most strict about wearing masks. So, in my opinion, numbers are they tell me what I need to know. And every single person that I know that was so against wearing masks in this area ended up with the big C. So, and now they wear a mask. So that's how I feel about it. But my comments are not going to be full of mask fighting politics. There are people that can't wear masks because of medical reasons. There are people that can't wear masks because of trauma they've gone through. I know people like that. I don't judge people that don't wear them, but I also don't want an argument about it. And I feel like you came in here for an argument because you threw something out there that could cause a debate, and then a viewer of mine, a supporter of mine, somebody I care about says, hey, how can I find out about this situation to further my education on this subject? Because you offered this, right? Wandy, however you say your name. So, genuine concern, which I actually was really happy when I saw an audience member want to know more about that subject. And then you want to come back and say, well, it's the internet. How, come on now. Like, I thought that was really nice of Cassidy to reach out and say, hey, how can I find out more about this subject? I feel like you just came in here to start an argument, in my opinion. Children really are suffering during these times. Their education isn't hands-on anymore, and they can't even go outside and be kids. I agree, the Pope of Metal. And, like, especially if you have special needs kids, it's so rough right now. Thank you. Thank you, Wandy, for giving an awesome direction in where Cassidy can look. I love that. Yeah, I didn't realize that you can get the big C again. Like, you can get it more than once. Now, somebody I do know that did get it, you want to hear a crazy story, right? So, I know somebody who got it. They got it from their husband. The husband was at work. Now, the place that he works at is like super strict about wearing masks. So everybody that was in connection with the person who had it, which is how they all got it, had masks. And there was like something like 7 to 9 people that were in contact with this couple that came into the restaurant that had it. And out of 9 people, 4 people or 5 people got it, right? So it was like more than half of the people got it. They all were wearing masks. So it's like, I feel like there is no 100% like deadlock thing that prevents it or doesn't prevent it. It's kind of like the flu, right? Like, even if you get a flu shot, you still can get the flu, right? So it's like, I feel like it's that way with masks. It's that way with the COVID vaccine. And it is what it is. Like I said, I respect why people do or they don't do it. I just know why I do wear mine. And like I said, anyone that I know that did get it, they now wear masks. So oh, I'm sorry, Christina. No, you're allowed to do so, Wandy. Maybe I misinterpreted what you were saying. I love how Nikki and Deep Soul are like talking about pizza. No, I think she meant I had a problem, Cassidy. Well, maybe it was just miscommunication. Maybe I just misinterpreted the conversation, which if I did, I'm sorry, Wandy. I don't know how to say your name. I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but I just know how people get. Like, when it comes to mass talking, it's like one extreme or the next. It's like politics. It's one extreme or the next, and I don't want it to be a... Are you talking about me, Wandy? I'm so confused. I feel like there's arguments for no reason right now. Yeah, I know Texas is wilding out. I just don't want, like, I don't want arguments about the mask wearing. Like, I just want to drop it, to be honest. Like, I will advocate for people wearing masks, but, like, at the same time, I don't want... I know, I'm not saying deep throat. Now that you said it, I'm going to say it. Oh, I don't care if people don't want to wear masks. I'm not going to make an issue out of it for no reason. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, whoever wrote that comment about seeing people without masks and getting mad at people over it, I don't wear a mask, is she talking about me? Well, I think when it comes to the mask thing too, again, we don't know if somebody's not wearing a mask because they have health issues, because they have trauma issues. So I just don't want to talk about masks anymore, to be honest. I don't want to argue about it because it's like politics. When you get into talking about mask wearing, it's like getting into talking about politics. And I don't want to get into that. To be honest, I really don't. I can just say my point of view, how I feel about it. But I don't want to argue about it. And I don't want people arguing about it. That's not why we're here. There's no point in arguing. You know what? I don't like pineapple on my pizza. I smoke Marlboro Black Menthol 100s. I have not, Wandy. What? All y'all like pineapple on your pizza? No freaking way. Am I the only one who doesn't like pineapple on my pizza? I do believe in UFOs, though. Like 1,000,000% believe in UFOs. I need to start wearing my Blu-ray glasses on when I do lives. I've never tried it on pizza, but I feel like I wouldn't like it. I need to look into the UFO stuff. Cassidy. Did you hear that they're trying to ban menthol cigarettes? I smoke Camel menthols. The world is already angry. They're trying to really make the world's Explode? Why? What's wrong with menthol cigarettes? I can't smoke regulars, man. Well, UFOs are 100% confirmed to be a real thing by the US military. They said they don't know what the fuck they are. Oh, really? Oh, with Canadian ham and pineapple, I could see that being good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Warm pineapple? Ugh. Like, pineapple and ham is good. Maybe on cold pizza. I could see that. I actually prefer cold pizza over hot pizza. Is that weird? Yeah, probably. How can we weaponize this? But like, I feel like the UFOs, because if you think about it, like the Earth, right? There's so much out there. There's no way we're the only beings. Like, there's absolutely no way, in my opinion, that we're the only beings. Yes, cold pizza is so yum. Like, I'll literally buy pizza and let it sit just so I can eat it cold. I'm not a big fan of melted cheese, like hot melted cheese. I know it sounds weird, but I'll try it. I'll have to try it. I know Kyle likes it, so maybe I'll order one time. When I get fresh pineapples, I cut them and put the pineapple in the fridge. We have a fancy pineapple cutter. I need to get a pineapple cutter because I buy whole fruit myself, Nikki, because it's cheaper to buy whole fruit and just cut it up yourself. Plus, it's a huge plastic. I need to grab my little charging thing, but it's a huge waste for plastic. So I buy whole pineapple all the time, and it's such a pain in the ass to cut. I need to get a pineapple cutter. Where is my charging cord? Oh, my cord's downstairs. My cord is in the car. Y'all, I might have to take you outside with me, or I'm gonna have to end this live, one or the other, because my battery's on 10. Oh wait, no, do I have my charger in here? I do. Do you need to go out? Oh, my dog needs to go out. Hold on, guys. I only eat cheese if it's melted or squirts out of a can. Ugh! Girl, Nikki. I need to quit smoking. Me too, guys. You're about to go on tour with me. I need to buy fresh more. I never know when they're ripe. Well, you can look up how to tell if fruit is ripe. Like ways to tell, because every fruit is different. I feel like Ashley now, like taking you guys on a freaking. Go ahead, Ninja. And now I'm gonna have to wait down here because he is gonna want to come in like 5.2 seconds. Canned cheese is an abomination unto God. I agree. Ugh. I had barbecue pineapple once and it was weird. Yeah, that sounds weird. Barbecue pizza is good. Yeah, fresh pineapple is bomb. I love pineapple upside down cake too. I bought all the stuff to make one from scratch one time, and then all the stuff just sat, and all we did was eat the pineapple. I quit smoking out of nowhere. It's like I forgot about it after like 5 years. Oh, I wish I could. Yeah, we're going on a field trip, Leslie. My dog had to go out, and I had to go get my charger because my phone's gonna die. How are you, Leslie, my darling? Ew, canned cheese is gross. I tried that. Pineapples, they are so difficult. That's why I'm saying I really need to do, get a pineapple cutter. I actually wasn't the one buying it, so I'm not sure, actually. Yeah, a lot of people love canned cheese with crackers. See, I love block cheese. I like buying block cheese and shredding it myself because it's cheaper to do that, or cutting it up for snacks. I don't watch the news. It gives me so much anxiety. I feel you, Christina. I don't watch TV in general, but I try not to watch the news. I might watch clips here and there, but I prefer to read the news because I don't have to deal with all the media part, like all the clips and stuff. Only watch if I have to. My husband watches it and tells me what's going on. Yeah, I have a coworker who's like, tells me kind of like the news updates. You're making it? Oh, I feel bad. I hope you're doing okay, Leslie. Ew, oily, tasteless cheese. Ugh. I won't do the grocery pickup from Walmart because I want to be able to pick my own stuff. I'm like that. I mean, not that we have grocery pickup, but I wouldn't be able to do it. I would have to like, ooh, brie cheese, ooh, or brie, however you say it. Swiss cheese is my favorite cheese, but so many people like either love or hate Swiss cheese. Hi, Alyssa. We're talking about cheese. Oh, you're going back to the doctor tomorrow? I hope everything works out. I know you've been going through a lot, Leslie. Come on, bud. That sucks, man. Yeah, I'm not a big melted cheese person. I can't do it. I like obviously like pizza. I like stuffed shells and like Italian dishes and stuff, but nacho cheese is good. It's not bad, but like if the cheese is too melted on a cheeseburger, I don't like grilled cheese, gross. I don't know, I'm just weird. It's a texture thing for me. Cassie's over here exaggerating. The French have a cheese where they let it sit outside with the hopes flies will lay maggots in it. The maggots eat and poop the cheese out and create a slimy coating. What? Oh, that sounds so weird, but I'm sure they love it there. Mozzarella sticks, I can do mozzarella sticks. It honestly really just depends on like a few things. My mood for one, and is there a dipping sauce? Because if there's no dipping sauce, I ain't doing it. We're kind of gonna sit you guys right here for a second. I'm gonna plug you in. I gotta take another migraine med because I can feel a damn headache coming on again. I think it's the ring light because I was live so long last night and I got rid of the headache and now I have it again. I hate mac and cheese. Yeah, I'm not a big mac and cheese person either because of the melted cheese, right? Ugh. I don't mind it if it's baked because it has more of that like crust to it than like melted cheese, if you know what I mean. See, my kids love cheese. I'm like, nom, nom, nom. Yeah, people do eat it, I bet. That French cheese. Yeah, I have a huge texture issue. It's from like childhood shit, so I'm like very weird about food. A couple $100 for a block of fly vomit and throw up cheese. Ugh. I can do sushi depending on what kind of sushi. Oh, I love broccoli and cheese. We make that homemade from scratch all the time here. It's one of my favorite soups that Kyle makes. Actually, I have a really good soup. Hold on. So it's don't mind this car in here. This is my daughter's little automatic car. My boyfriend's been trying to fix it for her. But there's a soup that my coworker makes. It's a bacon cheddar tomato soup. Actually, I'm gonna heat some up right freaking now because I need to eat something. But this is so bomb, y'all. Like, oh, so good. So tasty. I need a better spoon than that. Give me a big spoon. Where are all my darn spoons? Oh, there's one. But yeah, these are so good. So we went to the Freight Harbor today. I don't know if you guys know what that is. And we got a sub pump because we have a brook near my house. So maybe we'll be able to get water that way. But I took a shower here today. It just had to be fast, but I only do shellfish, no sushi. I love seafood. Sushi is so damn good. I could gorge myself to death on it. Potato sausage, kale soup is like heaven. Oh, yeah, that sounds bomb. I love all of those things. Have you tried, Leslie? Have you tried? There's this recipe that Kyle found online, and it's called cabbage roll soup. And it's so good. Like, if you like the sausage, potato, kale soups, you will love if you like cabbage. If you don't like cabbage, then you won't like this. But you can use like any kind of meat. We use hamburger sometimes. Sometimes we use sausage. Sometimes we do hamburger and sausage. You can use pork if you wanted to. But it's so good. Cabbage roll soup. Oh, best soup ever. I've also made it at work as like a special soup because it was something different, because we make our coleslaw from scratch at work, so we always have tons of cabbage. Oh, that sucks that your husband hates soup. We love soup in this household. We're always making soups. Maryland crab vegetable soup is amazing. Oh, that does sound really good, Nikki. I don't do cruciana type seafood. What kind of seafood is that? I've never heard of that, Wandy. Only time I eat cabbage is when I get chicken chow mein, when we get Chinese food. I love cabbage. We make a homemade ramen that's so good. Wonton soup. Oh, bitch, so good. Oh, Cassidy, stop. You're going to make me so hungry. But I love cabbage. I don't like coleslaw, really, though. Like, the one that we make, the recipe we have at my work that I work at now is really good. But it's crazy. We have, like, this 100-year-old, like, cabbage and carrot chopper. And that's what we use. My hands hate it. But it, like, makes the cabbage and carrots so fine. If you don't like eating, trigger warning now, I'm going to be eating. But yeah, what she does with this soup is, like I said, it's a bacon cheddar tomato soup, is she like minces the bacon and she keeps the bacon fat, like the bacon grease, and she puts it into the soup. Perfection. Yeah, I'm down with a potluck, Deep Soul. Yes, homemade egg rolls. Yes. Yeah, I'm not a big sauerkraut fan either. I do like it on my Reubens just because it's mixed with the Thousand Island, but I'm not a big sauerkraut fan. But being German and not liking sauerkraut, I made some crab cakes the other day. Ooh, I haven't had crab cakes in so long. Yeah, I love to cook too, Leslie. If it's got a shell, I'm not eating it. It's got to have a spine for me. Oh, that makes sense then. I didn't know there was so many different types of like seafood genres. Okay, that's the thing. I'm gonna have a small little meet and greet once the big C is done and over with, and we're just gonna have a potluck. I know, right, Cassidy? I was getting hungry myself. We went to Burger King today because we don't ever like go out to eat that often, like fast food eating, because I always feel like crap afterwards. But anyway, so we went to Burger King, and the last 2 times I've gone to Burger King, my tomato was rotten one time, and the time before that, or the time after that, my lettuce was wilted. But it was actually not bad today when we went to Burger King. Oh, I love homemade biscuits because you can do like any variation of biscuit. Like you can add anything to it. You can do garlic, you can do cheddar, you can do butter, there's just so many variations that you can do with biscuits. You hate BK? I don't mind it. I like their burgers better than McDonald's. Wendy's, if I had to choose fast food, it would be In-N-Out and Wendy's. Checkers is pretty good too. I kind of miss Checkers. The thing with BK is that I feel like their shit is so old. Like, Kyle got a sweet tea. Well, half sweet, half unsweet, and the tea was so old. Cabbage rolls are so good, Christina, that he said he could feel like that alcohol taste in it. So, and then my iced coffee that I got, I could tell that it was old because it hurt my stomach. Yeah, I haven't had the chicken fingers from BK in so long. But I didn't want McDonald's because, like, we have a McDonald's that's, like, 45 minutes from us. So we go to that town that's 45 minutes from us a lot, and we usually get McDonald's. And every single time I eat McDonald's, my stomach hurts. And all I eat from McDonald's is, like, a cheeseburger. That's it. And it hurts my stomach. So I was like, he wanted Chinese buffet. I'm like, no, there's no way I can handle that. And my head was already hurting, so I really didn't want to do, like, sit down eating. I just wanted to grab something really quickly. But I honestly hate doing fast food. He loves it. He orders so much food. I'm like, ugh, I'll just get, like, a junior Whopper with cheese and a nice coffee. Wait, hold on. My aunt did a diet where she ate nothing but cabbage for a month. Her house smelled so bad. I'll bring egg rolls and cake. I'm down, Nikki. I didn't know that cabbage was hard to digest. Like, I have really bad GI issues, and I've never had an issue with cabbage. I eat a lot of cabbage, and I can't gain weight for shit. Like, I eat a lot of cabbage. They weighed me at the hand doctor today, and before they weighed me, they had me fill out the paperwork for me to put my weight down. And I put my weight down from the last time I was at the doctor's, which was like 2 weeks ago. And it was like a 10-pound difference between what I weighed and what my last weight was. I'm like, what the hell? Why am I losing weight like this? Like, I eat. It's just, I don't get it. Like, the one time where I don't have, and I'm not struggling with ED, I can't gain weight. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, come on. And then I get worried because my doctor knows that I have struggled with ED, and I'm like, I don't want them thinking that I'm going through that, you know? And I've had, like, my thyroid check, because so many people are like, it's your thyroid, but my thyroid's fine. My grandmother had the same issue. She couldn't gain weight. I used to be obsessed. Oh, I read that. I'm not sure. I was really young. It worked, though. She steamed it, I think. Fermented. BK reminds me of body odor. I knew a kid who smelled just like BK when he got a little sweaty. Oh, no. I feel bad for some people because some people just have, like, a really distinct body odor. And there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, biscuits and gravy. That's one thing I miss so much is, like, true, authentic Southern biscuits and gravy. Like, the shit you get up here is, like, canned sausage gravy, biscuits that, like, McDonald's uses. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I worked for McDonald's for years, and so many restaurants that I've been to and worked at around here, they use McDonald's biscuits, the same biscuits McDonald's uses. And canned sausage gravy. I'm like, it's not even that hard to make a sausage gravy. Or biscuits. I can look at food and gain. I used to be like that too, Leslie. Like, when I had my liver issues, I was like over 300 pounds. And then after I got sick and went septis, I lost all the weight. Now, I've always been small framed. Don't get me wrong. I've always been pretty thin. But, like, I went through this stage where I got super heavy, and then I got sick and I lost it all. And now I can't gain for shit. Like, I try. The problem is, though, is that my doctor says that I have, like, an ED that is not where you, it's not like one that's very common. It's basically like, he says that a lot of kids that grow up in poverty and don't eat correctly, it messes with their how they, like how their body tells them they're hungry, right? So like I don't get hungry like most people do. I eat when I feel like I'm going to pass out. And that's when I think I'm hungry. And it's not anything that I can change. That's why I used to do this, because I would eat more because I would actually feel hunger pain, if that makes sense. But I know if I'm starting to get a headache or I feel like I'm going to pass out or something like that, then I know that I need to eat something. But yeah, it's like something that is, I guess it's like this new, like newer found thing that they've realized. Yeah, Five Guys. I used to work at Five Guys. Their stuff is so simple, but it's so good. Yeah, I'm going through that now, Nikki. It's like, I literally have not been this small since I was like this small, not on drugs. Because when I was on drugs, I was like 80 pounds. But I have not been this small, not on drugs, since I was literally in high school. And people comment on my weight all the time, y'all. Like when I was heavier, I was going through ED. I was binging, and everybody told me how great I looked, how healthy I looked. And now that I'm thin, I constantly hear, oh, if you gain 10 pounds, you would look better. If you, why don't you eat more? And it's like, it's so rude and disgusting, in my opinion. I had perfected my homemade biscuits and gravy, in hubby's opinion. Ooh, yummy. I'm the same way. I don't get hungry. It's so weird. Do you know what causes that? They didn't really give me an answer. They just told me that it's like really common for kids that have grown up in like poverty kind of situations. Oh, just eat. I never eat when I'm hungry. It's always preemptive. Yeah. Well, I struggled with that. Like I would just sit and binge eat like when I first got sober, and it was really bad. I gained so much weight. My highest weight was 272, now 170, 20 pounds from high school weight. I'm 49. Yeah. I feel like once you reach a certain age, too, it's like you're either thin and you can't gain weight, or you're heavier and can't lose weight. It's like one or the other, especially as a woman, I'm saying. I've realized that with women. It's like once you hit this certain age, no matter how much you work out, no matter how much you eat, it's like you're stuck at this weight. I drink a ton of water. Wandy. I drink so much water. It's ridiculous. I don't drink soda. I drink water. Like even this for me was a treat, because I never drink Gatorade anymore because of the sugar. But when I get headaches, I drink Gatorade because for some reason it helps me. But yeah. I drink a lot of coffee, but I drink a lot of water. Like I make sure whatever I'm drinking in coffee, I'm drinking in water. I used to be the same way. I used to not yeah, that's not fat. That's not fat, Cassidy, at all. I used to have an issue with water too, and I used to drink a lot of soda, and I don't know, it just took me, I don't even know what changed the way I was thinking with it. Oh, when I got sick, I realized how important water was. Like I could just feel a difference in my body when I wasn't able to keep water down. And so many people have their specific soda that they love. I got lauded after the wait at the doctor recently. Oh, I'm sorry, Cassidy. That's so embarrassing when stuff like that happens. I'm probably going to get off this live, though, guys, because my headache is coming back. And I'm one of those people, when I get a headache, if I don't lay down, I throw up because it starts to get to be too much. That's your body. Your body is like a turbo furnace, burning the shit out of anything you put in it. Yeah, I don't know why, though. It's like I have a fast metabolism or something. My brother's the same way. He's super tiny, too. He's tinier than I am. Like, he's taller than I am, but he's smaller than I am. You know, like, his waist is like this. Literally. He's got a bigger butt than I do, but, like, and he's got big hips like I do, but, like, his waist is literally tiny. And he eats a lot. But he has the same eating issues that I do because of our childhood. Because not only were we punished with food and by food, and our food was restricted and we didn't have food, so it's like we have food issues. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Me too. I have work tomorrow. I hope you guys sleep well too. I'm literally probably gonna get off here and like pass out. I don't know if you guys can see it, but my head hurts. I can see it in my eyes. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm really sorry to cut this live early. For me, this is early, but I just need to lay back down. I really think it's the ring light that's causing me to have headaches so bad. Okay, good. So everyone else is going to bed too. You are too hydrated. Your body hasn't activated the survival mechanism that causes your body to store food rather than use it. Look into reprogramming your metabolism. I will, Wandy. Thank you. It was Deep Soul Tarot. You're right. Thank you, Deep Soul. I'm grateful for you too, Cassidy, and for my little corner on the internet. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you to the ones that thumbs up this video and for being here. I appreciate you. I'm going to try to go live tomorrow night depending on how I feel and what work is like, but I will see you. Thank you again to my lovely moderators. And if you are watching the live playback and the live chat is not there, it will be there. It takes time for processing, so don't come at me. It will be there. Come back in a day. It'll be there. I feel like it's been uploading faster lately, but it just depends on YouTube. All right, have a good night, guys. Thank you so much.